What's up, y'all? It's hard to give good gifts, isn't it? Don't you want to be someone who gives good gifts? I want to be someone who gives good gifts, and I find that if I'm gonna give good gifts, I either have to know about good products and just like they're fit for everybody. Some of these today are like that, or I have to think thoughtfully about that person. Let's talk about how do we give good gifts, and I'm gonna share 10 of the favorite gifts I've ever got and modern day equivalents that are like, hey, you should get this for your husband. Don't feel like you need to buy all this stuff, all right? This is my take, all of this stuff. None of these companies have paid me to talk about these things. Some of the products have been sent in over the past year as I've been reviewing things, but this is the stuff I use in my daily life. This is the stuff that I love, like I'm wearing some of them. And all the links will be below, time-coded links, so you can just you can see exactly where I talk about what in the YouTube description. I take that very seriously so that you can find what you need and get the hell out of here, okay? Not that I wouldn't like you to stay and hang out though, because we get a little rambly because, dude, you know what it like makes a good gift? When the thing you're giving doesn't suck. Do you know what makes something suck? When it like doesn't do something meaningful in life and it doesn't do something well in life, right? You can do a meaningful thing not well, and you can do something good that just doesn't actually matter in your life. So these are my gifts that I think are important. I think we should move on. I could talk for hours about that, and I probably will in this video. Listen, before we even get started, here's a little bonus for you. This is an awesome pre-bedtime cocktail, and it's healthy as and it's good for you. This stuff, Organifi Gold. It's not cheap, okay? It's 80 bucks or something like that. But you do a little scoop, it lasts a long time, and it's just a before bed thing, I think. I mean, you can use it during the day, but anyways, it's a little scoop. You've got a bunch of turmeric, you've got reishi, you've got, what's that? The magnesium. You've got a lot of stuff that's helpful for just before sleep. I made my own version of this that doesn't have the sleepy time stuff like reishi and magnesium, but it has the mushrooms, it has the turmeric, it has the ginger, it has the black pepper, that extract that helps with absorption, and I add that all to a collagen mix and then put in some Four Sigmatic mushroom coffee powder. Okay, I'm boring you with the details. Let's get into the video. Number 1, Sonos put music back into my life. Actually, it was Sonos and Spotify. After CDs, and a lot of my CDs got stolen out of my car in San Diego back in the day, that sucked. But after CDs, I just went straight into pirating music. And it's actually a lot of work to try to have a version of every song you love downloaded on some hard drive somewhere where, and using VPNs and torrents and all that stuff. I did that for years, and it was just like, thank God I'm out of it now. Thank God it's just like $9 a month at Spotify. And then these, Sonos. And this is the newest one, which I love. We just got this for our house because it's so damn useful. It has a base station and it charges up. So this is our Bluetooth speaker it's not a Bluetooth. Do you know about Sonos? Sonos works totally different than your regular standard Bluetooth speaker. Here's a great one for a more budget item pick. And I have one in the link in the description that's like 25 bucks. A Bluetooth speaker makes a great gift. You want it to sound kind of good. You want its battery to last. You want it to be something that's somewhat water resistant. But mostly it's just like the music is the background for our life, right? And when the music sounds better, it's a little bit nicer. And when it's really convenient, it's really great. So a long time ago, we started collecting Sonoses, the little ones, the Play ones. They go in different rooms. And then one day I got the Play 5. I think that might have been the thing I got for a gift, because did I spend that much money on it? It's like 500 bucks for the Play 5, and it sounds incredible. It sounds really, well, I mean, I'm also kind of like a quasi-audiophile when it comes to, but like, I'm not talking about sitting and listening as a reference thing. I'm talking about what fills the party background, right? So after the CDs and after the torrenting, then this came in and I had music all over my house, all controlled from an app that I actually really like. It takes a little while to get used to, but here's the big deal about Sonos. It doesn't play from your phone. You can walk away. I can set up the music and I can walk away because it's playing from the Sonos system. I create a queue there. I've got a playlist from one of my Spotify playlists. I'll link to those below. There's a lot of good music that I've been curating for you. Deeper music, not necessarily Ariana Grande. Not that I don't like her or The Weeknd. It's just that it's good to listen to some stuff that's written by some real people out there in the world, living and losing and loving and not necessarily living like a Kardashian. So this Sonos thing, I cannot recommend it highly enough. Okay, I'm not gonna teach you all about it right now. All I know is this Sonos Move, it comes in at like, I think it's $399 or $299. It's $399. It's spendy. It's spendy, but we just upgraded to it because it makes our life so much better in the house that we're in, where we're constantly, sometimes we're down in the family room, sometimes we're up on like the rooftop deck, sometimes we're outside, 10 hours of battery. This thing sounds great. It's loud, it's delicious. Highly recommended, but like I said in the description below, I've got links to more budget-friendly options. Okay, by the way, this can work as a Bluetooth speaker or as a Sonos speaker, if you know what that means. That means I can connect to it from any device just like I would any Bluetooth speaker, or I can run it on my Wi-Fi system as a Sonos thing, which is just so sick, you guys. It's like one of the modern tools that has impacted my life more than almost anything else. Because having music in your life is a big deal, and giving that to someone, maybe they won't necessarily use it, right? So it's like, you know, it's the gift that you give to someone very special. That's what I would say. Good everyday undies. My mom used to always get me undies for Christmas. You too? Anybody? Bueller? I love mom's. I don't know what your mom's Christmas gifts are like. My mom always did like stocking stuffers of like cheap candies and stuff. And the other thing was there was undies. There was typically some undies. And at one point, I think she got me one of these Exoficio Boxerbriefs. Exoficio is sort of still, and to me, the reigning champion of the best underwear to use every day. I hope these are kind of clean. It's sort of vulnerable. I've done a review in my underwear before. Some of you remember that Tom Bin Western Flyer stuff. But the deal with these are, I have 3 right here, because that's basically all you're ever gonna need for any trip that you go on in your life. That's why these are so good. Why? You wash them in the sink, you hang dry them. They dry relatively quickly. And I gotta admit that most of the time these days, I'm actually not wearing fudgies. I'm choni free, I'm commando. I took a little piece of advice from my friend Corbett Barr, who I started Fizzle.co with. If you're an independent entrepreneur, you should check that out. And I hope I'm not outing Corbett here, but he goes commando a lot up in Portland. He doesn't sweat that much. And well, I don't sweat that much. And so I've been going commando, typically in my Doer Live Light chinos. Listen, this is not on the list, but you need to know about this company, Doer. They make very, very comfortable, kind of stylish pants. These Live Light chinos are my favorite of theirs. They make lots of jeans that are very stretchy and movable. I find that they don't do the look that I really want from a jean, that selvage kind of look, but I won't wear selvage denim anymore because it's too uncomfortable. I don't know why I cussed right there. The point being, these Live Light chinos, I'm wearing these a lot without underwear. Most of the time I'm going underwear free. But when I travel, I always have to bring these, especially if I'm going to a hot climate. All I'm getting at is these make a great gift, finding a really solid underwear. My vote is on these Exoficio. They're not that expensive. You get 5 of them, throw away all your other underwear. That's how you be a minimalist. Did you know that? You wanna know the number 1 tip to being a minimalist in modern life? You wanna know how to nail essentialism? Throw away all your underwear and get 5 of these. You'll be fine. You'll probably be so damn inspired that you'll do the same thing with socks. By the way, I'll put a link below to my favorite wool socks, darn tough. I most of the time don't wear socks either though. Good everyday shirts, okay? And I've got a couple back here I wanna talk about. Listen, here's the deal. Such a big upgrade in your life when you have shirts in your closet that you don't hate. Do you know that feeling? Some of you might not even know that feeling. I'm not gonna go to the mall. I'm gonna go online. I'm gonna find what's good. I'm gonna find a company that's very interesting. So I've got 2 for you here that I definitely wanna talk about. These ones are from Wool and Prince, okay? Wool and Prince makes t-shirts and button-up shirts. I'm wearing their button-up shirt, okay? And they have merino wool in them. These tees are 78% merino wool and 22% nylon, so you get this little bit of stretchiness. You don't get too much from the wool. I want to put a caveat here. If you live in warm places, you might not like merino. I find that when it's warm here in San Diego, I don't go for the merino. I go for a typical cotton shirt. But here's the deal. These merino shirts last so much longer. They keep their form. They drape really well. And they have this kind of like, even though it's just a t-shirt, it's sort of it's somehow nicer than a t-shirt without looking like it's a Lululemon shirt or a tech shirt or a golf shirt. Now, I said that in warmer climates, you might not want to go with the merino, even though there's all these other benefits. It drapes better. It's really odor resistant. It's really wrinkle resistant. I can wrinkle this thing up. I can put it on in a matter of minutes. This thing has kind of straightened itself out on me. It is a totally different fabric, and I love that. For that, you're gonna pay a little more than your $25 Hanes t-shirts and stuff like that, which will only last a little bit of time and are almost always built in some sweatshop somewhere, right? These, on the other hand, and I have another company here to talk about, are just the kind of company that you're just like, okay, I feel more comfortable with this. You have this relationship with them, and you're paying a little bit more, but you're not buying nearly as often. That's exciting. If you're wanting to give a gift that helps their life actually get better, you need to be getting stuff that's solid, that lasts longer than they thought it would, because we're all of us in such a mass consumption sort of mode where we think when we have the new thing, we feel good. When the new thing gets old, we start to feel meh until we've ordered a new thing, and then we're in that it's only 2 days till it gets here, Amazon Prime, and then it's like this constant cycle. It's like an entertainment. It's like material as entertainment. Not at all to discredit the fact that we need shirts. We need certain pieces of technology to do the things that we do in our life, right? The whole question I'm interested in on this channel is around wisdom about that stuff. And most of that comes from you in your life. How are you using your shirts? What do you like to feel comfortable in? And your body's different than mine. Your way of doing life is different than everyone else out there. And you have at your fingertips every fucking company that's making interesting stuff. Ministry of Supply also make great t-shirts. One of my favorite of all time is their Atlas t-shirt, but I haven't had one of their new ones. One of my oldest t-shirts is a Ministry of Supply black Atlas t-shirt. I wear it whenever I can because it's super comfortable. For some reason, it hasn't lost its shape. Then the other category of shirt is the button-up. Woolen prints make great button-ups, okay? Merino wool, I love this thing. It's a mix of merino. It, again, drapes really well. I rarely have to wash it because it's so odor resistant. When I do wash any of these, I'm just doing them in the regular. Don't give someone something that they need to dry clean, please. Unless they're like some, East Coaster used to dry cleaning things all the time. I think we've come too far. We've come too far to need dry cleaning. Like this company, Ministry of Supply, they make the single most comfortable dress shirt you'll ever wear. This is their Aero shirt, and it is stretchy. You put it on, and it is just like, it fits you well. If there's a person in your life that does the dress up thing, this is like $145 right now, but it is by far and away the most comfortable. You get a little bit slightly of that kind of golf shirt sheen, but when you get close to it, it's not that at all. I like this blue checker one. It's the only color I've seen in person of their stuff. Sometimes the pictures on their website looks a little funky to me. I don't know. It's just like, it looks like the person wearing it looks mannequin-y. I don't want to look too sculpted and this, that, and the other because my love handles are too big. But there's a chance that shirt can fit one of your loved ones, and that is going to upgrade their life a lot. And they might not like it. Hey, they might not like it. That's what's so great about getting them gifts that they can take back. Two quick bonuses here. This jacket is by far and away the jacket I've used most in my life for the last year plus. It is from an amazing company called WesternRise. It is their Airloft jacket. It's warm enough. It's not too warm. It's got a great liner on the inside that wicks any sweat away. It's stylish enough. I love this thing. Highly recommend this. I'll link to it below. I'm constantly telling my friends about, hey dude, you should my friends' wives, you should get, my friend just came and stayed with me. And he was like, it's a nice jacket. And I immediately texted his wife. I was like, hey, he liked this jacket. You should get it for him for Christmas. Same company, WesternRise, makes this. This is their Airlight, I think, shirt. I'll link to this below. And for any travelers, this thing crumples down into nothing. It's really wrinkle resistant. It's lightweight. When you're going through Southeast Asia or something like that, and you kind of you're going meeting with factories or whatever, that's when I wore that. Anytime you're traveling someplace sort of sweaty, you just, when you're traveling, you want lightweight clothes so that you're not carrying a lot of weight. They crumple down into little stuff, but they also perform well when you get there. They also have a pair of pants called the Evolution Pant. I'll link to below for any of you hardcore travelers or any of you partners or friends of hardcore travelers. That shirt and those pants and that jacket, if you're going to colder places, are my favorite for travel. Thanks, WesternRise. How you doing? You finding anything interesting for anyone yet? Huh? I love how threatening I just sounded. Huh? Did you find something? Here's a little one that I didn't actually include, but I was going through my bag. CBD oil. I'll link to one that you can get online that works great. Here's where you use this, okay? Here's where you use this. You know that time when you wake up in the morning, like way too early? Like say you wake up at like 3 or 4 and you're a little bit like, dang, I'm like, ready to go. This happens often if like sometimes drinking the night before can give you that like, that drunk sort of wake up, that like drunkard's wake up where you're like, you can't really go back to bed early in the morning. I mean, some of you might not be alcoholics, so I lived that life for a little while. But the same thing can happen when your head's just going kind of crazy, you're crunching on a problem, you've got a lot of stress or worry in your life or whatever. When I wake up early in the morning, too early, and I can get back to bed, I can get as long as I can get like another 2 hours before I really need to get up, I will do a big old dropper of this under the tongue, okay, of an oil or a tincture under the tongue. You let it sit there and kind of absorb under your tongue. You can get some absorption going on. You just sit there and you can go back to bed, like, right? You have one right next to the bed. CBD works great for that sometimes, and it's super low key. It's not like an Ambien. There's no grogginess. You just feel kind of rested in the morning. That's my favorite thing for CBD. That and using it all the rest of the time to try to not be as stressed. I'll link to a good one of those below. Okay, let's talk about notebook and pen. Listen, how many of the people in your life are actually like go-getters, ramblers, like people trying to figure out their thing? One of the oldest school best pieces of technology is a good notebook and pen. What do we need from a good notebook? We need it to fit in our bag. We need it to be like large enough so that we're not constantly buying new ones, but small enough so that I can carry it around easily, right? And then even better, if there's some way that we can archive these and have them on the shelf and they look good and we can just stick with one company for the rest for a really long time. Look no further than this Studio Neat tote book. What I love about it is it has an awesome cover, but it's still soft. It lays flat. It has a dot grid paper. On the back, there's a bunch of perforated things so that you can cut out little cards and hand off, written things to somebody else. It works really well as a notebook. I've used every kind of notebook. Sometimes you want that moleskine. You want that big, like, fancy moleskine. And this is a nice, happy medium between that, a moleskine, you know what I mean? Those fancy, nice Italian ones, where you're like, maybe I won't write this down in there because it's not quite ready to go in the notebook yet. And then there's like really cheap, those like composition notebooks, like the old school ones you got for school or creative writing night class or something. Those are excellent because it's just like, it's about getting your shit down in a notebook. But I do like the added sort of niceness to this. It helps me to write a little nicer. Speaking of which, they also make a pen that is super dope. All right, but it doesn't have it's just, what's so sick about this is like the clicker, they actually designed this and the mechanics of it just feel so satisfying. The ink that it uses is gorgeous and really gooey and nice and it rolls beautifully. And it's the same kind of insert that's used in my favorite cheaper pen. This is the Studio Neat Mark I. I'll link to the tote book and the Mark I below. I'll also link to the Retro 51 Tornado pen, which is just a great gift to give someone. Really good gift, and it's only like 20 bucks. Feels nice, has a good heft in the hand, great ink inside, and it comes in a bunch of different colors and shapes and like graphics and shit like that. Anyways, a good notebook and a good pen is a great gift, a great thoughtful gift that doesn't set you back a bunch of money. So links to those below. And shout out to all my friends out there who are working on their life, writing and do you know what? I had a song, I made an album a long time ago. I used to be a musician. I still am a musician. I used to try to be a musician the way that now I'm trying to be a YouTuber. And the very first words of the very first song on the very first album, the only album, in fact, that I ever made, which I recorded myself back in the day, the line is, I was looking through my old journals. It's like the most like, just shitty emo kid vibe. It's like, hey, what's up? My name's Chase. Yeah, oh really? You have a journal too? Yeah, I journal. I just have stacks of journals somewhere. And at some point I was looking through them and I thought of something and a song came out of it. And the first lines of the song are, I was looking through my old journals. And then of course my friends take that and they coined the term vajournal, which stuck. So get someone a good vajournal for their life. I love that. And if anybody calls it a vajournal, call it a vajournal like proudly. You know why? Because it's good to go inside. It's good to go inside. Let's move on with our list. Okay, mobile headphones that do not suck. Here's a huge upgrade you can give someone in their life, but it costs $249. They're the Apple's AirPods Pro. Apple's AirPods Pro. They're great. They're really solid. They fit all the ears that the previous AirPods fell out of. They fell out about 10%, I think, of the population's ears, which was like, thanks, Apple. I was in that 10%. So when Apple came out with this, I was really stoked. Would it fit my ears? It did. There are 3 different earbud sizes that you can pop onto there. The way that this just like works with the Apple ecosystem, the way that it just like turns on and immediately connects, the way that you can control the noise cancellation, which is sick, the transient mode or transparency mode rather, that like I'm just showing you there that like as soon as I open this up, it's connecting over here. I can easily pop to my other devices as long as, you know, they're Apple devices. You could do the same thing with, I just don't know how it works with non-Apple devices. I'll link to the other pair. I'll pick one other pair that's not an Apple ecosystem pair that I'm like, hey, just go with these. And I'll try to make it as budget friendly as possible, because when you have good like on the go listening stuff, that is podcasts on a walk. That is Audible books on a jog. But that's so much walk and talk because you use them for the phone, call your dad, and thought, right? Listening to stuff. I live on podcasts. I love them. I think it's so valuable to get to listen to honest conversations that aren't compressed into little like, you know, daily show size. Anyways, I love the long conversations because I feel like I'm not getting long conned in it, right? Like I'm not just getting the hits and going, oh good, now I know what to do with my life. I can hear their depression. I can hear their excitement. I can hear their worry. I can hear how it actually went, because you're in your life trying to figure it out, right? And you're it. Okay, so I'll link to these below. Here's the next one. Okay, I'm the bad guy. I'm the bag man, man. I'm the bad guy, dude. I'm the bag man, dude. Maybe you're commuting, maybe you ride on a bike, maybe you take public transport. We're always schlepping our stuff that we need for the day with us. How do we do that? Does it look good? Is it organized well? Is it well made? You know, does it get kind of ratty and dirty easily? So let me give you some quick recommendations on companies and bags that you can go to right now, find a product for someone that would probably be great for them. And they're gonna be stoked when they get it because it's well made, thoughtfully designed. It's eco-conscious and has sustainable values in it, right? They're not gonna feel guilty that they're wearing something around that is just like, for some reason I'm thinking of OGIO. I don't wanna be mean to OGIO, but my buddy Jay has this like hashtag NoGio. I think it's so funny because he's business traveling all the time. And everybody in business has got these. Anyways, we'll talk about some business stuff in a second. First company I want you to know about, okay? Bellroy. I'll show you a few of their bags. They make really stylish, gorgeous stuff that's made really well and that works for modern professional life. Like this duo tote thing or whatever this one, it says the Tokyo tote maybe. I'll link to it below. Great laptop, great organization. All of the little zippers are in the right spot. The material's burly, water resistant, and all like has the performance characteristics you want, but it still looks like women. This is a killer bag for women. I'm loving Bellroy's stuff because it's so unisex. Maybe a little less woman friendly, but maybe not. Like who are you to say that? You. This is the Shift. What's great about this one, it's got a gorgeous little over the top hang down thing, which means you can fit a lot of stuff in here. But most of the time for a tight daily carry, like just not carrying all that much, it still looks and performs really well. Very comfortable on the back. This thing is killer for any creatives, any digital professionals who aren't having to schlep around camera gear, but just like, you know, your iPad Pro and a pencil and your MacBook and your headphones and whatever, you know, all the things that keep you from other people on public transportation. But they also have really cute totes and things like that that are also well made. And just their basic classic backpack. They have the classic backpack and the classic backpack plus. If you want a regular backpack for them, I'll link to just the ones I think you should go with below. I think that First one was the Tokyo tote. That's a great one for more professional people. The Shift, another great one, but like more specific. Maybe it's not right for everybody. But the Classic Backpack and the Classic Backpack Plus are great, 2 different price points. The Classic Backpack Plus has more organization, is the way to think about it. What if you want a little more of a I don't know, I struggle so much with the look of this bag when I talk to people because I'm like, oh, you don't like that, do you? Because it's so plain Jane. But here's the thing. This thing is like, what is, I think it's like 120, 150, something like that. It's Evergoods. These guys are some of my favorite materials and build and design people in the entire world for bags. This is their sort of run-of-the-mill, basic, they call it the Civic Half-zip. So it's half zips down, okay? You can easily see all the stuff inside. Laptop compartment, which is solid. Great water bottle compartments on either side. Killer little quick access pocket right here, right? And then one more pocket inside the bag here, as well as some lash straps up here you can put a pen through or whatever. It's so simple. I mean, some of you are like, why am I looking at this simple bag? But you need to know that the way that this bag feels and the way that it performs, because this is one of the most comfortable harnesses in the entire world, and it's super low key, like not big, not like there's no straps hanging off this bag, right? It's just, I know why I'm like wasting my breath because most of you aren't going to be interested in this. But for a regular everyday bag, if you want to give someone something, it's like less than $150. This thing is my favorite. Especially for those, those utilitarian boys, those simple, the minimal kind of life thing. This is lovely. One of my favorite kick-around utility bags. Even if you already have a daily carry that you love for taking to the office or something, having that to go out for weekends or like river days or to the beach or little excursions is just awesome. In line with that, like sort of utility bag, one of my favorite ever is this Topo. I love this as much as that other one. I've used more than that other one just because it's a little bit bigger. It opens up full clamshell like this, so you get access to the whole thing. It's made with simple materials that are really burly and strong. Big old huge number 10 YKK zippers. Great organization up here on the front with some inner organization, a quick access pocket on the top and 2 huge water bottle pockets, then a laptop compartment on the back. Anyways, it's very simple construction in some ways. It's not as technical as like another bag that I want to show you next, but it is lovely. And at 120 something bucks, this thing is a crowd pleaser for lots of boys specifically. Maybe girls too. Who do you know? Who are you to say? I will link to that one below. Topo also make this great little rambler, okay? This thing is the global briefcase, all right? It's got a nice little laptop pocket, nice little small daily carry section, and then 2 great organization pouches up front. Chunky, beefy zippers that I think add to this very attractive aesthetic. It's a backpack and a briefcase, okay? You have a shoulder strap that comes with it that you can attach. I just leave it in backpack mode most of the time. This thing is killer. If you got someone who's like I don't know, if they can take this to work, they'd be so stoked. Thanks, Topo. This one's sick. I love this. This is one of my first reviews I ever did, was the original version of this. It's still one of my favorite bags just because it's tight, it's nice, it's like just the perfect look, great little organization. Ooh, it's lovely. One more you need to know about that I don't have with me for that regular old daily carry kind of vibe is the Boundary Supply Errant, okay? A very capable tech bag, lots of lovely organization. All these features on this bag are very rich and well designed without being too Kickstarter-y and too sort of juvenile designery. They're not that at all. They're really mature designs and wonderfully executed. And it's not that expensive. It's less than 150 bucks. It's like 100 something bucks. Anyways, I will link to that in the description below as well. Check out that one. I'll link to my video as well as just the page to go learn more. If you're watching this because you have like a boy you're getting a gift for, if you got that boy that Boundary Supply bag, I almost guarantee they're gonna be like, fucking thank you, this is so sick. And then you need to make sure that they don't cuss because that's rude, Okay, so those are our daily carry bags that I wanna mention right now. Here's the deal, I've got a list of my favorite daily carry bags down below right now at this time code. And there's more than just one list. When you go to that page, on that page, there are links to business backpacks, right? There's links to work and gym bags, right? The kind of bag that you can have your work stuff in, but you have gym stuff in there too because you're doing both in the day when you leave the house. There's my favorite bags under $100. All of that is on my favorite daily carry bags page. I just added that there. You can click and link to all of those. You can see, so you can find someone a gift that they're actually gonna use. All right. I want you to click that link. And while you're there, I want you to get on the email list, right? Because we do free giveaways. I very rarely send emails out there. I wanna be able to send you stuff when something interesting comes up, which hasn't really happened yet, except for when there's a giveaway, which there's about to be a big one. So you wanna get on that email list ASAP and on the Instagram. I'll link to both of those below because we're giving away thousands of dollars worth of gear. And the giveaways are tied with like how many subscribers we have, right? We're about to pass 75,000. I hope I can get this out before I pass 75,000 so I can get to the next video. But the subscribe too, both are favorites. You could subscribe via email, you can subscribe via Instagram, you can subscribe via here. I don't know if you're a YouTuber. I don't know if you like watch YouTube. though, Okay, let's talk about the next thing. All right, little organization pouches. What's great about these is they're not that much money. They're less than $100, but they are so they're created so well, they're designed so well, they feel so lovely. Like, look at this one. This one's from PAKT Design, okay? And it has, I organized my whole production leftover stuff with this. People use this every day. My bummer about this one is that it's a little big to fit in my bag for every day. I prefer going with something smaller like this. This is the brown Buffalo Porter pen. It's just a simple pencil case. But I live in this thing. It's made from burly materials. It's gonna last me. My kids are gonna fight over this thing when I'm dead. It doesn't have to be made out of leather or metal for it to last that long. This thing is so robustly built, and you pay for that. It's like 40-something bucks, I think, for a simple pouch. But once it's in your life, I've constantly got this in my bag. I'm constantly carrying, this is where I put all my little snacks and it's almost all snacks right now. It's all snacks. Snacks and weed gummies. But there's another place where I wanted to show you Bellroy, okay? Bellroy, all of these are Bellroy right here, okay? They've got this great little pencil case. Here's my classic one. I did a 25-minute video just on this pencil case because it does this great little maneuver where you could set it out on your desk like this. So pretty and nice, and you've got your pens and pencils, quick, easy to get to. For any of you illustrators, for any people in your life who are creative illustrator type, this is such a lovely package for them, or product for them rather, because it's just really dignified. It's made well, it's gonna last a long time. Same thing with they actually have this is I think this is their DOP kit, which I use for organization in some bags depending on what I'm packing out. This is a great wash bag or DOP kit to have, to give as a gift, right? But they can also use it as organization. Then the piste à resistance, you have the tech kit. In the tech kit, you have a place for your cables. No? Wait, no, wait. This tech kit is epic. I use this one all the time right now because it just came and I'm like, ooh, this is really nice. It also has a little flap behind here to store all my cables and all my little dongles and stuff. So in one little package right here, I have all my tech stuff and everything I need for the tools, for the things I do with my digital life. So when I get to the cafe, when I get to the office, I pull my computer out and I pull this out. That's it. It really simplifies my life. This sits on my desk open oftentimes, or I'll close it up and just put it in my bag. Another one I really like, the Manal Toolcase XL. I'll link to all of these below, and you can grab some for your people. Most people look at these. Look at this Bellroy tech kit. This is useful for any millennial. Thanks, Boomer. If you're a Boomer out there looking for some, by the way, my buddy Aaron said, he's like, yeah, fucking Jimi Hendrix was a Boomer, dude. This Bellroy tech, get this for someone in your life. Get this for the younger computer-y person in your life. It's a little grown up maybe for some of them. So the PAKT Designs is I think slightly more expensive than that one. And this is just gorgeous and lovely. Get this also if or that one, right? I like the Porter pen for its simplicity, but I'm kind of punk in that way. I want it to be simple. I don't tend to like really like everything worked out for me because I tend to like it, to use it differently and customize it myself and just throw everything together. But Bellroy kind of crushed this for my everyday use. Okay, we're almost done. I've just got a couple more here. I'll throw in some bonuses at the end as well. Like some of you just got like real dready, like, oh God, it's keeping going? Now, if you really want to upgrade someone's life, you gotta put a little travel in there, okay? Travel is this thing where we knock the barnacles off of our prefrontal cortex, of our context, right? You live in an environment and it becomes invisible to you, right? Like the fish in the fishbowl, like that's just the size of the world. When you travel, when you experience new things in different places where the fishbowl there is just different, you don't get to live in a world where there aren't any fishbowls, but you see the differences between the fishbowls, and that significantly impacts the way you look at both your life and yourself and the people around you and any fishbowl you happen to be in at any given time. Okay, so travel is potentially this amazing gift that changes how you conceive of yourself and your world. It matures it. Why? Because you go see different realities than just the one you've been in all your life. Okay, so travel. How do you enable travel for someone? Well, you can like buy them a trip. You can, that would be sick. Hey, we're buying you a trip. Have you ever done that thing where you buy like someone like, hey man, I did this for my dad. Sorry, Dad. We're like, hey, we're gonna do a big golf trip with you and Grandpa and me and Chris, my brother Chris, and we still haven't done that. And now Grandpa's passed away, right? It's like, you can get them a trip, but it might not actually happen. Make sure it happens. We're still gonna go to Bandon Dude's dad, or somewhere else, somewhere more warm. Or you can get them a tool that they will use in travel, okay? Let's talk about some tools. Really, one in particular, the bag. What do they travel with? Not everybody has great luggage, and having great luggage will upgrade the travel experience. I'm getting closer to you. I like traveling with a backpack, or at least taking certain trips with a backpack so that you can experience what it's like to just flow and float through, some old European city center, cobblestones, stairways, sand on the beach. You don't have to deal with the damn roller. Most people are traveling with roller bags. Roller bags are sick. When you're just doing airport, when you're just going from the airport to the hotel and back again, it's like, okay, I'll link to my favorite roller bags below. Eagle Creek is where I go. I just go Eagle Creek, and here's the deal. You've got to get a roller bag. If you're getting a roller bag for someone, what's great is they're like, less than $200 for a great one from Eagle Creek, right? Like it's like $150 for a solid one. Get a 20-inch. Get a 20-inch roller bag. It's gonna feel small to some people. Oftentimes, they have like little expandable things to get a little bit more in there, but you can work it on any flight that you're going on in the future. I don't know if you know this, but the luggage restriction is it's just like certain airlines suck, and that can really affect your experience of travel. So I'll link to my favorite roller bag that works across all these different airlines and stuff like that below. Eagle Creek's typically who I go for it, but in the future I might have a different one, hey? Okay, now that we got the travel rollers taken care of, let's move on to the more interesting stuff where you can spend possibly, around the same amount of money, but then have a totally different hands-free form of travel that gets you where you need to go, and then you're like, I don't know, you're in the world a bit more, I think. So I just have four options I'm gonna give you right now, okay? First one, Kathmandu Litehaul. This one is good for everyone, man, woman, child, even, because the harness system's really comfortable. It's great for different sized frames, especially smaller ones, but it's made for medium sized frames. I just like this because most travel bags, like if you have a very small frame, they can look really big and really funky. This is one of my favorites. My wife has traveled with this more than any other travel bag. She loves this one. Most of my friends who need a quick travel bag, I'm like, would this work? Because it's so nice in transit. It's got plenty of space for carry-on travel, okay? They call it a 38-liter bag. I think it travels slightly, maybe even a little bit larger than that. But suffice it to say, it's lovely to travel with. You can fit a bunch of stuff in here. You don't wanna take more than you can fit in this bag. Again, we're back in the minimalism thing. Traveling minimally, living out of a backpack is the thing, man. It's what shifts your internal chronometer. You're minimal. When you get there, all you have is what you brought with you, right? And you've got every store in case you need more underwear or fucking hydrogen peroxide or something like that. This bag travels really well, and it's affordable. So I'll link to that below. Here's the next one. The Aer Travel Pack is one of my more recommended bags to my friends, okay? It's got a simple black on black look, sort of military, tactical vibe, but it's so functional as a bag. It's really pretty damn comfortable, even when you have a bunch of stuff inside. It opens up clamshell so you can see all your stuff and pack it easily. It has an extra shoe compartment that you can keep your stuff just like segmented that way. Organization kind of throughout the bag. And one of the things that they nail is this tech pocket on the front of the bag. Okay, all of your tech, all of your stuff that you're gonna need organized right here on the front of the bag. There's also a laptop compartment. So this thing's epic for like work trips, things like that. It's just so capable. This is the X-Pack version. Most of them are typically in ballistic nylon. It's gonna last a million years. Thanks, Aer. And one more little part of the travel bag is a packable day bag. This thing is such a good gift, okay? Here's the deal. You roll it up into like nothing and then just shove it in your bag, or do what I do, which I just lay it right on top. I just lay it right on top. Oftentimes I'll have like my like stuff I want for the flight in this already. I'll get, like as I'm getting to, like maybe I'm lining up for boarding or whatever, I'm pulling this out, and this goes onto the seat and like with me in the airplane, and then my big backpack goes up into the overhead compartment. Listen, this thing is really a great just backpack. Killer straps. Interesting material, well made. Lovely little magnet thing here that like, how do they work? It's so lovely. I love this thing, as it's my favorite packable day bag right now because it's kind of stylish and all that stuff. It comes in like 80 bucks, I think. So maybe more expensive than you were thinking, but this would make a great gift for somebody. I like this as a gift. This is a perfect kind of gift if you're not going for a bigger travel backpack. Okay, two more for you. These are not backpacks necessarily. These are duffels. This is the Boundary Supply Aegis duffel. They just came out with it. It's killer, okay? Excellent handles. It's like affordable. It's less than 200 bucks, but it's made with excellent material, some 500D something. Little pocket for organization here. Little handles, little compression straps. There's actually a zipper in here for a shoe compartment, which is dope. But what I love so much about this thing, you ready for this? It doesn't look like there's anything going on, right? But that is hiding backpack straps that come out and clip on, and you can wear this thing as a backpack or carry it as a shoulder bag or in your hand as a duffel. This is epic for like I think it's just a little over 150 bucks or something like that. Epic. Epic, epic, epic. Why do I love this so much? Well, because it's so functional, perfect size daily or duffel bag for like, I mean, even if you were just using it for taking gym stuff around or whatever. Perfect size duffel bag for travel, right? Carry-on size, just chuck it into the overhead compartment, right? But you've got the backpack strap and this thing, and it's gonna last you so long. Killer burly materials like this Hypalon stuff on the bottom. It's reinforced and lovely. This black textured thing here is a little breathability, because if you put your shoes in there, they can breathe out and it doesn't go into the rest of your clothes. Lovely little treatments here, like this like custom G hook. The way that this feels, this is a luggage pass-through with a zipper at the bottom, or you can use it as a pocket. Little things like where this snap goes here, it's got a little place for you to put your finger underneath it, so snapping it's super easy, even if you never do that. Thank you, Boundary. This thing is epic for like your $150 travel duffel gift. This thing is epic. Is that much? Oh, it's less than 150. It's 140 bucks right now. That is epic, okay? For this level of quality, with this kind of functionality where you've got duffel or backpack. When it's in backpack, the backpack straps are hidden. Look at this thing. It's there. But it's like, you don't have to like store them in the bag somewhere. Love that. Boundary absolutely crushed that, but I've got one more duffel for you. Now, if you have a big boy or a big girl in your life who needs a good little upgrade on something, this is the bag to go with. First of all, look at the outside. Gorgeous little aesthetic. This is the PAKT One made from really solid material with this nice coating. So it's got this water resistance. It carries really well. Similar handles to that Boundary Supply, my favorite kind of handle right now because it's just simple webbing folded in, but it feels great. It reacts to your hand well. It molds to your hand well while still having this really burly, solid connection. Lots of organization. This is one of my favorite things in the whole bag. Just a magnetic back thing where it's like, that's immediately where some of my just like my magazine or my whatever it goes. If I'm carrying it on me, right? This is where my phone and my boarding pass and all that stuff go when I'm going through security or something like that. Oftentimes, a lot of my daily stuff will just live in there. Because it's on me and I don't worry about people getting it. But check this out. This is sick. This is one of the like signature pieces of this bag. This is an internal compartment that has this red thing here. It's like inspired by those pull tab like military or pilot type of things. You put all your stuff in here through security. It's hanging out from your pockets, like your phone, your passport, your wallet, your watch, all that stuff goes in here. You can zip it up. It's safe. Goes through security. On the other side, you've got this thing with the big red thing. Hey, don't forget to put this stuff in your pockets, right? I love that. Great little touch. And one of those things that is so indicative of how these guys designed this thing. Let me show you what really makes this shine. Okay, you'll see here we've got 3 zippers, one big one down the middle and 2 smaller ones on the top. The reason why we have that is this whole thing opens up clamshell like this. Clothing and everything on this mesh side for me, tech and other stuff on this side, my laptop compartment, and laptop fits right inside of this thing. That's what it's designed for. Absolutely lovely. And then those zippers over here on the top, you can set them anywhere you want because there's 2. Now you're into each of those compartments, all right? That is on-the-go access to a very lovely designed, organized sort of setup. And then this organic cotton, everything on this thing feels like a big boy bag that isn't, but it's but it's still outdoorsy in some way. It's still like honest in some, I don't know. It's not it's not Kenneth Cole. It's not fucking Louis Vuitton. It's not trying to be something else. It's like really, I don't know. It's really like, it's me. Do you understand? Someone you're gonna give this bag to, like it's them, okay? So the PAKT One, I'll link to that below. It is an absolutely like lifelong companion for duffel bag travel. Linking below. That's all the travel stuff, okay? That's how you help people get out and get, you've got that family member who's like, whoa, Charlie needs to get out and see some of the world. Well, one of the things you could do is get them a travel bag. Maybe they'll get out. Okay, then product number 10 here was just like my digital tools that enable my life. I'm recording audio on my MacBook Pro, which is literally like it's the source of everything I've ever done in my creative businesses. Right? That's where I wrote every piece of copy. That's where I came up with every idea. That's where I recorded every audio, edited every video. That's a huge deal. That's a really big deal. And it's expensive, so, but having good machinery like that as a gift is the best thing you could give someone. My phone, this iPad Pro or iPhone Pro is overkill. Don't get that one unless you're a content creator, in which case, absolutely get that one for somebody. If that person you're getting it for is, you know what I'm saying. This iPad Pro is unbelievable. I got the 11-inch with the Apple Pencil is mandatory. This thing is excellent for any illustrator, any creative, but if they're doing that for a living, they probably already have something like this. But that's a huge upgrade to someone's life. Those are the big ones. Let's talk about some smaller ones. I already talked about the AirPods Pro, little in-ear guys that go a long way. That makes a big difference. This watch, this is a smartwatch, but it just looks smart. It's just a clean, classic sort of look. With this watch, I can just get the notifications that I want. I just have texts and calendar events coming to this. Why? Because sometimes I'm sitting somewhere meditating or something like that without my phone, because it's nice to get away from your phone, and you forget you have a calendar event, and that's when this comes in handy. This is like $100-something bucks. It's like not that expensive. It's not like a $500 something. And it looks really clean. This is a great young man gift, even an old man gift. Why I like it so much is because it's the same kind of watch, look like white face watch that I think I saw my grandpa wearing a few times, and Miss you, Grandpa. Here's another kind of interesting one, okay? This is a Total Human from Onnit. It's day and night supplements, okay? So you get 30 days of this. A daytime and a nighttime supplement, and inside is a bunch of good stuff, like the fish oil type stuff you should be taking for your brain health. That's like your mitigation against dementia later on. That's all in there. Alpha Brain's in there, just one of their pills. Alpha Brain is sick. Do you want to know? I'd recommend this more often, Alpha Brain. I just don't end up using it that often. I've been taking it every day, just a little bit. But you take 2 of these Alpha Brains before you do a presentation, a podcast, record a video, or take a meeting or something like that. It's not caffeine. It's just herbs and shit. It's just helpful resources, and there isn't some big high or some big crash. But you do notice the support. You do notice a little extra vitality in the system, a little more alertness and awareness. That's a big deal. So I'll link to that below. It's also inside of the daytime thing on this. I take more daytimes than nighttimes. I have all these nighttimes that I'm like, because in the night, sometimes I forget to take them. But that Alpha Brain is in the daytime here. So is there Shroom Tech, which is a bunch of different adaptogenic mushrooms that are great for helping you adjust to, like I use those like crazy when I'm doing any sort of like sleepy, shifty, jet lag type of stuff, waking up early or needing to get to bed well or something like that. There's mushrooms that are so good, just subtle helping agents at helping your immunity, especially, to just have resources. Got that every day. You got the vitamin B complex, you got Shroom Tech Sport, Strong Bone, which is some stuff that's great for your bone, and you have the spirulina and chlorella, right? Lots of great stuff for the day, same kind of stuff for the night, but it's all tuned for the night. It's sort of spendy for 30 days of it, right? It's like $100, a little more than $100, I think, for 30 days, but it's all your supplements that you like probably should be taking and might not be, especially if you don't have a lot of good nutrition in your life, which a lot of us don't. Ancestral nutrition, get some good full fat stuff, get some good, stop eating things that come out of packages. Anyways, that's pretty killer. Nice gift, because Onnit's a great company. They make good stuff. Speaking of which, here's a funky one. This is from Onnit as well. It is a mace. It is a 15-pound mace, and I love this thing. I use it all the time for just personal sort of fitnessy stuff between meetings, hanging out on the grass. Because it is lopsided, it's heavy on one side and not the other. You do a lot of things like holding this upright like this, my big heavy balls down there. I got heavy balls. And then squatting down and up or something like that. I can't show you it here. But this, for any of those fitness enthusiasts, get them one of these if they don't already. Why? Because they'll use it at some point. It'll come in handy at some point. It's kind of interesting to have. People are constantly like, what is that? Picking it up, messing with it, playing with it. It's unbreakable, right? And there's a bunch of fitness stuff you can do with it. I'll let you find those videos on your own. But I love mine actually, and I find that it's great. Okay, all of this stuff, this shearing, because I'm heavier on one side, right? Just slowly moving this around like this is forcing me to get all of that shearing, I call it shearing muscle. It's that stuff that comes up like this and up like that, and it's rooted down in here. So you're getting much more of this full body workout as opposed to, just Matt Diavolaing your biceps. Sorry, Matt. I don't know Matt, but I noticed the biceps, don't we all? Like travel, fitness in someone's life can really upgrade things. When you feel less like a piece of shit, it'll affect every interaction in your life. Speaking as someone who is very good at feeling like a piece of shit. Now, we've got one more thing that I want to show you. It's actually what I've been sitting on this whole time. Okay? And what I've been sitting on basically all these videos. It's my favorite ever thing, besides the SONOS, I think, that's upgraded my life, and the shirts and all the stuff that I've gotten into here. I love my life that I get to play with so many products and see what's good and what's actually worth it. But when we moved into this house, I needed a new chair. And I want to get something that sort of inspires fitness instead of slouching, right? When we slouch down and we do this whole thing, all of this back stuff, all of this respiratory stuff, all this collapsed heart chakra, throat chakra stuff, all of this as we get healthier, as you do more yoga, more Kundalini yoga, more hot yoga, get into a fucking hot yoga class, that'll change your world. As you get more of that shearing strength and you're not collapsing all over yourself, you really want to be in a mode, when you're sitting and working, you want to be healthy and aligned, lower back all the way on up, right? It starts down at our hips. Well, this is my favorite thing in the entire world. It's called the TicToc. Okay, it's from, let's see if I can lower this down. Here, I lowered it down so you can see it a little bit better. This, okay, it's from a company called Foley. They make a great stand-up desk. We have 2 of them upstairs. I'd have one here, but I opted for this weirder desk because I'm a weirdo. Here's the thing, it was designed by a career meditator. Guys spend a lot of hours meditating, right? One of the things that you notice in meditation I was gonna say very early on, is that it can be very uncomfortable to sit. But sometimes you don't notice that till a long time. Because when you can sit comfortably, you can meditate comfortably. When you can meditate comfortably, you can do longer hours. When you do longer hours, you get really fucking stoned. Pardon my French, the Dalai Lama. But there are altered states that happen when you're just breathing and you're just chilling and you're letting your awareness spread out or come to a very specific focus center. All of that is dependent on if your lower back is just writhing in pain, if your legs are literally going numb, right? So this guy designed this. Here's the deal. It rocks side to side, so you get all of that like stabilization right in here, okay? Because we're rocking side to side. But it does not rock front to back. Why is that good? Because it enables my hips to roll forward a little bit. And you've got this downturn here on the front. Thing is like $300. It is by far my favorite seating tool that I've ever gotten. I mostly work standing up as often as possible, but the truth is that it drains your energy, right? It can be really draining to work standing up. It's nice to sit down and edit a video because you can go for longer. This is the chair that I use when I'm going longer. It doesn't have a back, but because it's got that front thing, anyways, I got to do a whole video on it. But if you have any sort of health conscious people in your life, you need to get them this to do their work in, because it'll upgrade how they sit. Maybe some people won't like it, but to me, this is the best thing to sit on, and that's what we're gonna end this video with. This has been great for me. How are you? I hope that this has been helpful for you to figure out a gift for some or multiple people in your life. If it was, please use my links below if you're able to. If you're not, no worries. You can search for any of those products on Google, but if you use my links, I get to be a part of, at no cost to you, it's like buying me a beer. So thanks for all those beers. All the links are below, time coded out for you. Hope you like that. Make sure you get on the email list at matterful.co to be a part of the next giveaway, which is about to happen. We're about to pass 75,000. I hope I get this video out before we pass 75,000. And then one after that, we're gonna have 100,000. There's always gonna be more giveaways. Why? Because these brands wanna talk to you. And I'm like, trying to keep them away to show you just the ones that I really like. But when we do giveaways and they're like, dude, we wanna give stuff away to your audience, I'm like, do it, let's do it. The way that we do that is through the email list. So make sure you're on the email list there at matterful.co. I'll link to that one last time at this time code in the description. And I hope that your holiday gift giving goes well. I hope that you find stuff for the people in your life that they really deserve it, right? They've really been there for you. There are people in your life that actually care about you. And it's not because, the things you do for them necessarily. It's just because they care about you, right? How fucking sick is that? Think about, this is what I've been laying on this tirade about the fact that the human is born so much earlier compared to other species, or lots of other species at least, because our head size is so big. We've been working on this damn brain, developing this over millennia, right? Over millions of years. So we're born early, super vulnerable and helpless, right? Anybody that you meet out there who's a total dickhead, right? Maybe they're the president of some important country, but they're a dick, right? That person was taken care of through their most vulnerable stages when they would have effortlessly, easily passed away and expired, got eaten by some, leopard out in the wilderness, or just simply died of starvation, exposure, because we're just so helpless. Everybody who's alive was taken care of through those helpless times. And there's people in your life who have taken care of you, both when you were small, but also when you're big, because even when we're grown-ups, even when we're big boys and big girls, we still we don't know what we're doing. We're still figuring things out. We make mistakes, right? So I hope you find something great that is It is an upgrade to someone's life. Here's my one trick for you. Think about what makes that person, like what they are to you. Okay, just write it down in an Evernote note. Write it down on an Apple Notes or something like that. Write it down in your journal. Write it down in your journal, right? What makes them to you? What's something that defines them, right? Let that be a little bit of a guiding light as you think about a gift, either from this list or from anything else. Oh, one more thing for all the ladies out there, or for all the dudes out there, to get for your ladies. I'm gonna link to this oil that I got for my mom and my wife last year. That was super great. It's a face oil, and it is just like, I use it now at night when I can, because it's great. It's good stuff. I'll link to it below. I think it was like Red Earth or something. Okay, I should get out of here. Before you, go away, first of all, subscribe and stuff like that. But like in the comments, best gift you ever got. Best gift you ever got. What is the best gift you ever got? Right? Let's hear about it. People can go through the comments and get more ideas. All right, bye.